Why do people grief? Griefing has been an issue in Minecraft for some time, as I'm sure you know. A lot of servers can get griefed from time to time. Now, how do we stop the griefing? And what do we do about it? Well, there's a simple thing. You just ban the people. But that's where you run into a problem. You can't just ban everybody. Because if you ban everybody, then no one will come on your server. And then you're sad, which is an issue. Yes, so you don't just ban everybody. You gotta be careful how many people you just go around banning because they grief your server. Maybe try and be a little more understanding with people and maybe give them a second chance or two. And then if they spoil all those, then you ban them. Because you never know. It might be a one-off, oh, I'm sorry I made this mistake, and then they might turn around and be one of the most trusted mods you ever have, or staff, or just plain old player. You never know. So don't just go around banning people outright. You should probably give them second chances. Maybe a third chance if you're willing enough. But back to the question, why do people grief? Option number 1, boredom. This is the most plausible option in my opinion. Boredom. People get bored, so they think, let's go grief a server and have some fun. Now, while they may think this is fun, this is actually a big pain. Why? Because then the people who run the server have to fix everything. And you, as the quote-unquote bored player, could wind up getting banned. Which is sad for you, because what if you enjoyed the server? And then your little griefing out of boredom got you banned from it. That's sad. You don't want that. So you're going to want to avoid just griefing because you're bored. So what do you do in that case? It's simple. You find something constructive to do. Like, for example, maybe go build something in survival. Make the survival area of the server, if there is one, more interesting. Or do something else the server has to offer. PvP, creative, what have you. But that's just me. Option number 2. They just want to be a pain. Now this is a bit less likely, in my opinion, but just wanting to be a pain can be something that people just decide to do for some reason. I don't know why, but some people just like being a pain. I mean, we all know this. Some people just enjoy being a pain. Now, how do you handle these people? Simple. You ignore them. Because in my opinion, the reason they are being such a pain is because they want attention. So what do? Simple. You ignore them. And eventually, they will see that they're not getting the attention and they will stop. And that way, they won't be such a pain anymore. But that's just me. Option number 3. They've been misguided. Now, what am I talking about? Simple. They may have just misunderstood the rules. Like, for example, maybe you are a semi-anarchy server where people can generally do what they want, but you don't allow griefing. But they don't understand how anarchy servers work. So, in their misguided minds, they think griefing is okay. Simple way to fix this. Explain what happened. Don't just kick or ban them. Explain it first, and then if they break the rule again, kick or ban them. Now, there is another way to be misguided, and it's by someone else. Say they were tricked into breaking a rule. In that case, don't punish them at all. Just find out who tricked them into breaking the rule and punish that person, because they're the one that caused the problem. But that's just me. Because why would you ban the one who was conned into doing something that they didn't know was wrong on the server, when the one who did the conning is the one that deserves the punishment? But that's just my philosophy. I don't know about you guys, but that's just me. I'm not sure what you think about it, but that's just me. You know what I mean? Anyway, this has been an interesting video. I hope you learned a thing or two, because I'm just trying to help you learn stuff. You know what I mean? Little life lessons, right? Not sure how well I did. I'm not usually the philosophical type, but you know what? It happens. You know what I mean? Sometimes people who aren't usually the philosophical type decide to give life lessons. And then, that is when you get a little something I like to call entertainment. Why do I call this entertainment? Because they aren't usually philosophical, which means they might not know how to give philosophical advice. Like me, for example. I don't know jack squat about giving philosophical advice, but I did my best to give life lessons here. This is what you would call an entertaining moment, because I'm trying to be philosophical and give some advice on life and servers and what happens. Well, you get a little entertainment because I'm not very good at giving like life lessons and philosophical advice and the like, but that's just how it is. You know what I always say? Sometimes you just gotta wait until you're older to get good at things like that. Because sometimes the older you get, the wiser you get. I say this because that's not always true. Sometimes the older you get does not mean the wiser you get. But generally speaking, the older you get, the wiser you get. So generally speaking, with age comes wisdom. This might not be true for everybody. I'm joking. Everybody gets more wise as they get older. Jokes aside about some not being as wise when they get older, people do get wiser as they get older, so you learn things, right? You learn not to do dumb stuff. Like, for example, go on and grief a random server into oblivion and then proceed to start wondering why you got banned. People do that, you know? They go and they grief a random server and then they get banned, and then what happens? They probably wonder, well, why? Why did I get banned? Maybe they don't. Maybe they realize their random griefing is why they got banned. Either way, life lesson. Be smart. Don't do dumb stuff. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe because it really helps me out. And I will see you in the next one.